Welcome to the Yukon North 61. So I'm supposed to be on my big bison hunt today, where we go all in, going out with three friends and go 400 or 500 kilometers and find the bison. And I've been doing a lot of day trips, had a few adventures, one really exciting adventure that I'll talk to you about someday, but I'm not going on that trip, largely because it got me. So I'm testing positive for COVID-19. So don't feel that well, but I certainly don't have the terrible symptoms. So today, instead of enjoying the great Yukon outdoors, I'm inside recovering.
Good, how about you? It's great to see you. Yeah.
And I thought I'd do a little video to keep myself entertained on my top 5 rifles for the Yukon. And this is number 5. This is a 30-06, great caliber. Really enjoyed this caliber. This was my son's choice. This is what he took out with 220 grain bullets for Bison. And this has the great MDT stock. So this is a folding stock. I've shown it before. So it folds right here at the wrist. Makes it really, really compact. It's a very light stock. This is the Mountain 26. So that's a 26 ounce stock. And it's taken me a while to really warm up to this rifle, because it's got the totally straight line stock. And this has an Argos HMR 2-12, which I really like this scope too. It's a really nice rig. It's almost as light as it was in the traditional plastic stock. It's a little bit heavier, only because these magazines are heavier than the Tikka magazines. But it's a way stiffer stock, way better stock, and it attaches to it attaches very, very nicely to a tripod with an Arca Swiss mounting. So really, really, really useful. And it took me a while to warm up too, because it wasn't as accurate at first. It free floats the barrel, so it has just different. I just need different types. I needed to retune the ammunition. So I got it again shooting under MOA. 155 grain bullets at 3,000 feet per second. Those are Bergers into well under an inch, and 220 grain Hornadays into well under an inch. In fact, I've got my best single 3-shot group with 220 grain Hornadays and Reloader 22. Really nice rifle. I really like the ergonomics now that I'm used to that straight stock. I had to get high rings. I actually scoped myself the first time I used this, because I was trying it with low rings and there's just no way to properly mount it. So this is number 5. Number 4 is probably my favorite Bison gun. This is a Warburger. It was actually branded as a Norma. This is in 358 Norma Magnum. I believe these had a Lothar barrel. Whatever this barrel is, this is half-minute angle capable. And I've got a really good Huskema 1-6 by 42 scope on it. Really, really nice scope. Really fits this this rifle. One of the things I love about this rifle is it has a rotary magazine. Single stack, very, very, feeds almost as well as those Tikkas. Really, really nice. 6-lug action. Super accurate. Straight comb again, so the kick is very manageable, fairly heavy, which suits this caliber. And I love the 358 Norma because it's got about the same ballistics trajectory as a 30-06 with way more bullet weight. So this is a really good Bison rig. If the only problem with it is maybe a little bit long, sometimes you have to go into the alders after these Bison, so it's a little long but still quite usable. So that is number 4. Number 3. This is Steyr Mannlicher 9.3 by 62. Really short little rifle, 40 inches long. Really, really great Bison rifle. I like it for 200 yards and under, because these 286 grain bullets that I really like. These are the bullet I finally settled in. I tried the 270 Spears for a while. I finally figured out they're probably a little bit soft. So these are 286 grain Woodleys. I hope Woodley starts making these again soon. Although I still got about 100 of them. And this is the Luxus model, which they used to make, which has got the steel magazines, because those plastic magazines used to crack. So this has got the straight line. I like these straight line magazines because they feed so well. That's a 3-round. You can also get a 6-round. I'm looking for a 6-round. Someday maybe I'll find one. But again, sub-MOA rifle. It's got the beautiful twist in the barrel. If you take a look at that, and it's light but heavy enough to really soak up the recoil of that. So it's about 8.5 pounds with this scope on it, and that's about right for this caliber. So it's really nice to shoot, and that full length stock just gives it a little bit extra. So great caliber, great ballistics. A little slow, 200 yards and under, almost perfect. Number 3. Number 2. What could be much better than the great Winchester Model 71? And this particular model is almost MOA, like with the right loads to 3 MOA with the wrong loads, but I can get MOA to a 1.5 MOA with open sights pretty damn good. Again, it's a heavy rifle. It's just over 8 pounds, largely because it has a aftermarket butt plate on it. This one probably weighs more like 8 pounds, 4 or 5 ounces, which again soaks up the recoil really wonderfully. And the balance of this rifle just has to be experienced to be believed. This rifle is all about ergonomics and balance. It was designed, the stock design was by the great Townsend Wayland and a team, and they really came up with something special as well. This rifle was an evolved design. The old Winchester lever guys that made all the great Winchesters decided to take the gamble and make one great lever gun to replace all. They called this the universal lever, the universal rifle, universal cartridge. The 348 was made to mimic the great 30-06, and it really is a well-balanced rifle for 200 yards and under. And I've proven that this rifle is moose worthy. Really nice rifle. Top rifle. I've got a twin to it. I don't consider it my favorite, but I've got a 8mm Berno 21 with a scope, which has very similar ballistics, which I sometimes use because I just see better with the scope. But this rifle will go down as my number 2. Really good rifle. 2 honorable mentions I just wanted to talk about because very good rifles. This is the Legendary Arms. They're out of business, but they sure made a nice rifle. And that's a 6-pound 15-ounce rifle in 6.5 Creedmoor with a brake. And I'm not usually a fan of a brake, but what I love about this rifle, it doesn't kick at all. It's down under 10 foot-pounds with that brake. And my wife shoots this rifle like a champ. If my daughter ever comes out with me, she can shoot that rifle. And I can shoot this rifle really well. And the 6.5 Creedmoor has the same trajectory as the 30-06. And you know, it's only got 75%, 80% of the energy, but it's certainly good enough for caribou and probably sheep. And it shoots those great high BC bullets where you don't get much wind drift with them. And this rifle shoots half MOA. Like, it's really, with the right loads, it's really quite a rifle. They really made a nice rifle. And on the opposite end of that recoil curve, a rifle I really come to admire is this Winchester Model 70 in 458 Winchester. Now, if this rifle was in 375 H&H, it would have made it for sure into the top. The control ground feeding is wonderful. It's like, as a rifle, it's wonderful. The accuracy is unbelievable. The 458 Winchester Magnum, the kick with 500 grain bullets is too high. It's just too much to shoot from the bench for me comfortably. I can get inch groups with it, but I don't enjoy it. And I do like shooting the rifles that I have. So I've gone down to 300 and 350 grain X bullets. And for whatever reason, this gun shoots those X bullets like it was made to. Shoots them under MOA or close to MOA. And you get some pretty good velocities. 350 grain bullets at 2,500, the 300 grain bullets up to 2,700 feet per second. Easy, with no pressure signs. And unfortunately, those bullets don't have the best ballistic coefficient, so this is, again, a 250-yard rifle or under, which is probably really Bison worthy. And I got a CDS turret on this, which actually makes hits up further possible. So who knows what this gun is possible of. I'm gonna enjoy finding out. Really, really nice rifle. So these two rifles, you know, they might make it. They might break the top 5 at some point in my career. I also got a 6.5 PRC because I really like this rifle so much. It's not feeding well, and if I can get it feeding, I've got new parts coming from Nosler. If I get it feeding, it might break too. And number 1, Forbes 24B, 30-06, 5 3/4 pound rifle, well under MOA, light like a feather. I've got a Razor 1-inch, 1.5 to 8 power scope with a great G4 reticle. I can hit the rams all day long at 550 yards with this rifle. Literature says it takes 3 rounds, but you can put 4 rounds in this magazine. It shoots 150 grain AccuBonds, 3/4 MOA. It shoots 220 grain Nosler partitions, 3/4 MOA at around 2,500 feet per second with reloader 22, which means I've taken this on moose hunts, and there will never be a sheep hunt that I don't think about this rifle as my number 1 choice. Really amazing, and the 30-06 only gets better. Those 150 grain AccuBonds, it actually shoots Magnum flat, and a bit of wind drift because the BC's not super, but it's pretty good. Pretty hard to beat this kind of weight. Like, I can just, even at my old decrepitude, you can just hold it all day, and you can put that on the side of your backpack, you know, you notice it's there. So it's really, really nice to have something that great and that light. But those are my top 5. And this is what I'm doing because I got COVID, and I'm going to do a little bit of my book work from home. It's a miserable thing to get, but I guess I'll have hybrid immunity after this one. So good luck to the boys with their bison hunt. I wish I was there. I certainly would be if I could be, but getting everybody sick is probably would not be the right thing to do. So staying at home. Wish me luck as I recover. Minus 43 down here this morning. Kind of guessed the temperature wrong. What are you going to do?